Then there were questions about agriculture. There are two questions about agricultural labor, agriculture. Particularly when Khannaji was talking about skill development required in agriculture and China having 3.5 lakh rural vocational training center and our productivity being very low and the skill development required in agriculture. There is absolutely no doubt about what you are saying. The productivity of agriculture is a separate issue, I'm not going to go into that. But I can take this point that skill development is very important in agriculture and allied sectors. We are not only talking about food processing, take the case of food processing, there is enormous potential there and we need to improve there. What I want to emphasize is that the National Skill Development Coordination Board appointed a committee. There were 5 groups were appointed, one for apprenticeship. And after that report was submitted, there was a committee appointed under my chairmanship to take the final decision on that. And then there was one on vocational education. Krishna Kumar, NCERT chief, was the chairman of that group. And a very good, very comprehensive report has been submitted. That report is being processed just now. And you will see that in the next 3 months, the vocational education framework for the entire country could possibly undergo a major transformation. We have this vocational education in some schools, technical education, but it's bogus, basically bogus. In China, they started the vocational schools which are completely vocational. And most of the schools, by definition, are wholly vocational. So in every school, in our schools, we don't teach life skills. Not at all. Why not make that as a part of the regular curriculum? That's why, your basic life skill, those who are reading books, etc., they don't have life skill and they are ill-equipped to handle many of the tasks, which they should be trained in the school. So there would be a major reform that will take place. And you just wait and watch for that. Then there was a question about failure of the institutional mechanism. This was the question about quality of higher education and particularly the failure of institutional mechanism in universities. And there was a reference made to appointment, the proper person not being appointed. I will tell you a very interesting story here. In the NCHER, in the first draft, we proposed that vice chancellors should not be appointed by the states. There has to be a proper thing. I know one university where the vice chancellor is BA and he is vice chancellor of a medical university, but his qualification is that he happens to be the son-in-law of the person who founded the institution. That kind of thing should not happen, and the right kind of people should be chosen. But this is, politically also it's a very difficult thing to change. So what we did was, the suggestion that was made in the original draft was that the National Commission on Higher Education and Research will create a kind of national registry. Anybody can apply. Anybody can apply. Individuals can apply. Universities can nominate some people. State governments can also nominate some people. But the body, NCHER, will screen and decide who deserves to be the academic leader in terms of vice chancellor. Those names will be there in the registry. Any university which is in the process of recruiting vice chancellor can take 5 names from there, verify and choose one. If they don't like all 5, they can go for another 5. But nobody could become vice chancellor without his or her name being there in the national registry. You will not believe the kind of opposition that we had from states, because this is one of the soft spot for them, and particularly from states in South. And there was a very strong opposition. They said that nothing doing. States, you are doing something against the principle of federalism. We were told the federalism that you are taking away central. So we said that, look, we are giving the national registry, and nobody is forcing you to take X or Y or Z. You can take 5. Those 5, if one is suitable, fine. Otherwise, next 5. But you have to take percentages. They said no. So now I regret to say that in the third version of the bill, we had to take cognizance. This is democracy. We had to take cognizance of that, and many states were so strongly opposed that we had to compromise. And we said that they may use the national registry should they so desire, but they are not necessarily confined to use it. So that is how things happen. But you are absolutely right that the quality of vice chancellors, generally it can be good, but its political intervention is a little too much sometimes. Then there was Suresh Kotakji, my old friend, made spellbound observations, as always very fundamental. And employment certificates, there's a lot that we need to do. Education online, there is a major change that is taking place in the distance education, and I'm sure that will be taken into account. Healthcare, I'm very glad that the lady out there talked about the healthcare and how so few institutions in the health sector are accredited. And there are several new categories which have emerged and they don't seem to be aware of that. A small correction, they are actually aware of that, and please do take a look at the skills. They are no longer confined only to X-ray technicians. There are a whole range of services, and the health sector issue of National Skill Development Corporation, the survey that they have done and the vision that they have shown is very, very interesting. And you should please kindly take a look at it. You can of course add on to that, but we are really talking about the future skills. The final question from the young lady out there was about the quality of teachers. We talked about that, but there was an issue about brain drain. I will end with that. Brain drain is a very interesting story. My old guru Abid Hussain, when he was in some committee, he was in a meeting with Indira Gandhi. And Abid Hussain could never keep quiet, and he was famous for one-liners. And he would keep speaking even in the meeting going on. And they were talking about the brain drain. And Abid Hussain turned to the person sitting next to him and said, "It is better to have brain drain rather than brain in the drain." and suddenly, he didn't realize that the mic was very sensitive. Madam Indira Gandhi stopped the meeting and said, "Abhi, meet me after the meeting." So everybody thought, "Gaya kaam se." But on the other hand, what Indira Gandhi did at that time was to ask him, why did he say that and so on. Those days are gone. Brain drain is no longer an issue. In fact, we are talking about brain gain. Today, best of our students, when they have multiple offers, there is a very strong likelihood of their accepting a job here rather than going out. And in fact, those who have gone out are talking about coming back. The smart thing which a lot of young people are doing right now is that, you are working with a multinational in New York and you take extra pay package to come to work in India. So you get rupee salary on the level of the Americans. There are many people, young people doing that scene. So brain drain is not an issue. I think we have a lot that we can share with others and still have no problem. There's so much talent that we have it here. Only thing that is required is to give them the right kind of education and training. I'll tell you one great thing about Indians, and like most of you, I have been all over. One of the most striking thing about we as people is what in IT language called multitasking. Do you know that outside India, very few people can do multitasking? And it comes so naturally to us. We can, there is a word in Sanskrit which has no parallel or no comparable word in any other language. That one is Ashtavadhani. Ashtavadhani means a person who can keep track of 8 different things at the same time, which is not versatile. Remember, Ashtapailu is versatile, which means that a person is capable of doing 8 things at different points of time. Ashtavadhani means you are doing 8 things at the same point of time. You show me any other language other than Sanskrit or Indian language which has this word. And the reason why it is not there is that trait is conspicuously absent elsewhere. I had gotten myself in trouble in America where I said that the only multitasking that an American can do is to read a magazine while sitting on the potty. That's the kind of multitasking they can do. And you just look at in India, a person who is 4th grade educated, he can do 5 things at the same time without any trouble. वो शॉपकीपर होता है, वो पुड़ी बांध के देगा, इसको कीमत बोलेगा, और अंदर देख के बोलेगा अपनी भी वो बच्चा होता है उसको देखो. He can do that. It comes so easily. The reason is that I think that I have even thought about why it must have happened.